All right. Welcome to another one of Donuts and Akahol. It's still holiday season right now. Like those sound effects over there. We got my man Tatum. I don't know why I said my man, but we got myself, Tatum. Got G-Baby right here.
How you guys doing? How are you doing, Mr. Seth Hirsch?
I'm doing good. Thanks, guys. And by the way, I don't think there's a problem with you being friends with yourself.
Thanks.
Because you introduced yourself. You tried it. We're going to introduce me, but it's okay.
You know I was trying to do
I know.
Seth Hirsch. Put the whole government.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo, somebody give me a time frame. I've been flying consecutively for 5 days. So much on my mind, I got a migraine. So many gears, I gotta make gyrate. Shia LaBeouf mind state.
So Seth Hirsch, you're an interesting fella here in Cincinnati.
To say the least. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
At the very least. Very interesting fella.
Out here having fun, drinking water and staying hydrated, you know? What can I say?
Nice. And you're from Cincinnati, but you moved when you were 18, right?
Yeah, well, I actually moved out of the country when I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
Moved to Israel for a year. And I was there, and then I came back, went to New York. So I've been there for almost 5 years.
Why did you move to Israel, out of all places?
Well, growing up around here, I'm a Jewish person. So when I grew up, not many Jews, and I just kind of was always in this identity crisis with my culture, like trying to, you know, because I like grew up listening to hip hop too, so I don't necessarily identify with like
the traditional.
Yeah, the traditional American culture. I like country music and stuff like that. Anyway, so I went to Israel. I got the opportunity to go there, and it was dope. Like I kind of feel like I found my muse as a person and like as an artist, and it was really tight. Yeah.
That was good. So you feel complete now. You don't have identity crisis.
There's still voids in my soul. I'll tell you.
Oh, that's deep.
Some of them are. Some of them are not that deep, and some of them aren't there anymore because I went to Israel.
Okay.
So to double back.
Okay. And then you moved to New York. Why'd you move to New York after that?
So I moved to New York. When I was in Israel, I heard of this kind of like a Holocaust that's happening right now. It's still happening in China. Against people that practice something called Falun Gong. It's a meditation practice. And basically the government's like murdering them in huge numbers for their organs to be transplanted. And so I heard about that when I was in Israel after having been affected, you know, understanding who I am as a Jewish person and my role to society and to history. And so I got the opportunity to move to New York and use my creative skills to like expose this persecution and genocide. Mm-hmm. So that's what got me out there. Obviously, I had in the back of my mind was okay, I'm still trying to further my art and my craft, and New York is great too because it's like the birthplace of hip hop. Like when I moved there, I was living in the South Bronx, which is where hip hop came from, and I kind of evolved as an MC and like a filmmaker and a person being there, and I helped put in some time, help the world a little bit.
Make the world a better place.
Tikkun olam in Hebrew. That's what we say, heal the world.
Oh, I'm glad you let me know what that was. I thought you were saying something inappropriate to me.
No, actually, I'm lying. I was coughing on the donuts. Because for some reason, you served me alcohol with donuts in it, which is not a good... I'm just playing. This is water.
For legal purposes.
For legal purposes. I did sign a waiver.
So... What, like you said, your craft is filmmaking and then it's being an MC. What's your like true like passion though?
My passion, probably like if I had to boil everything I do down into one word right in this moment right now without taking time to think about it, it'd probably be like communication. Because I feel like that's like I'm just gonna take it very metaphysical. Like from a very high level, I just feel like the reason a lot of people don't do bad things in this world to other people is that hasn't been communicated to them, or they don't communicate with themselves that good and bad have a consequence. And I think I think that's it's a very abstract, intangible thing, but it's true, it's facts, you know? And I feel like everything I do in a way is communicating, whether I'm just expressing myself or whatever, I'm still thinking about how can I communicate a positive message? How can I and just in the purest form is communication. I play a show, I'm talking to people. I'm literally talking to people right there, you know. Even if you're just dancing, you're still communicating how you feel. So, yeah, like, I don't even remember what the original question was because I'm very narcissistic, but like communication.
Keep talking. But so you kind of answered a little bit, but how do you let that transition and spill over to your to the music?
Right. All right. Cool. So like in addition to music, I'm like a filmmaker and writer, kind of like comedian. And I think through studying all these different things, the main thing I've learned that's important in any work of art is like point of view. Point of view. Like, what do you like? Even if someone's like has like meaningless music, they still are saying something. They still are like have a point of view. And sorry guys, I have a golden dinosaur on a counter that just
Quiet.
Tyrannosaurus, stay there. He's already on the floor. Can't fall again.
Okay, in New York,
Right, in New York.
where you usually Millie Rock, I'm guessing.
Yeah. A lot, frequently.
What accomplishments did you accomplish?
Right. That's good. Well, okay, so
Or personal, you know.
personal achievements was there are 0 personal achievements, but in terms of my career, I'm playing. All right, so when I was out there, about a couple of years into being there, so like basically last year, beginning of this past year, I got hit up by an MTV producer to ghostwrite for the Broadway show Hamilton for like some actors from the Broadway show Hamilton, which is a really dope show that I still haven't seen because tickets are bread.
Yeah.
Through the roof.
Cut your arm off, cut your leg off, and skin on your nose.
And give me a ticket.
Then you get a ticket, yeah.
And so it was really dope. I got to write, it's a Broadway show about presidents and they're rapping the whole time. So I got to write lyrics for them to rap for an MTV President's Day special.
Dope.
Mm-hmm. So I wrote 18 rap verses or whatever. And then like the executives really liked it. They brought me into Viacom and I directed them on the flow, you know what I mean? Because they like couldn't figure out. Some of them were like some Slim Shady, like triplet flows and they're like, they thought they could do it. No, I'm just playing. They're so talented. They nailed that shit.
Now, you said it was ghostwriting. So explain, how do you ghostwrite for a play? Like, are you not getting credit for it? Or
it's
like,
sorry, it wasn't in the play. It was the people from the play, the cast of the play. And I wrote for them for a segment for MTV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I wrote for the Broadway show, like the cast of the Broadway show. Yeah, and, they were just rapping on screen and it was just played on MTV on Snapchat Discover page on MTV.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool. Like, it was definitely dope going there and meeting everyone. And then I guess they liked me a lot, so I ran into the producer from the show Wild 'N Out when I was there. And I guess they had been emailing people. I guess I got passed around a lot because there's a few other people that wanted to meet me that I didn't end up actually getting to meet with. Like, but anyway, she was like, "Yeah, I heard about you. You'd be perfect for Wild 'N Out. Can you come in for an audition?" And I was like, "Yeah, like sure,
right,
like sure." She's like, "All right, cool. It's in a month." And I was like, "All right, wow." So I was obviously mad nervous about that because I've never auditioned for anything, let alone like Wild 'N Out. So I kind of hired like an improv coach to help me get my skills up and stuff like that. And then I went to the audition. I met Nick Cannon and all them. They were super cool people. Like, it was weird. I was so nervous before. Like, I was in a state where like people are trying to hold a conversation with me that goes below the surface. I'm just like, no, I can't. I can't. Like, you know what I mean? I'd just be eating like a bagel, then halfway through just be like, no. Like I was like that. I was on edge. Then when I got there and I saw how cool it was and everyone, I met like some people, like I met Fat Boy, the Instagram dude. Like everyone was just having fun. I was like, this is what it is, man. It's like, it's high stakes, but only if my mind makes it that way. I'm just having fun. So crushed the audition. I got callbacks to come in and with all the finalists, we did like a mock version of the show. And I definitely crushed it, bro. I balled all over a couple people.
All over Nick Cannon, Nick Cannon.
We clown on each other, actually. He's so cool, man. He's dope. I hope I get to meet him again. He's funny. But we did the Wild Style battle, and I destroyed several people. And then, I ended up not getting on the show, but it's all good. Everything
You
happens.
got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Made an impression.
Yeah. So
exactly.
that was pretty dope. And yeah, after that I just worked on my EP, which I put out in June. It's on Spotify, Apple Music.
What's that one called?
iTunes. Opal Demo.
Oh, nice.
Opal, like
Opal.
this Opal,
Okay.
like the
Interesting.
birthstone. You know, I'm not wearing any. but
Yeah. You should have wore some Opal.
I should, for marketing purposes only.
No, do you think it's challenging? Because I know like now, you know, we have the Instagram comedians. They want to be, you know, rappers now. I think like DC Young Fly, like, you know, started out comedian, now he's touring, doing a rap. Do you think it's difficult for them to be taken serious in the?
I don't, like, me personally, I only judge if I take people seriously based on if they are authentic with their work. So like there's some people like this is the most obvious example for that kind of jump is like Drake. Like he was on Degrassi and then he was like, okay, now I want to do music. As a human being, he's free to do whatever he wants, and it just so happens that the stuff he was making is so fire and so authentic that you can't hate on it. Like there's some people, you know, of course there's some people that like they try to make skits and I think whack, make music even more whack. The skits were 0 out of 10, the music is a 0.0. That's the lowest number you can get. Hey, I didn't like it either. But I definitely do think that a lot of people are trying to rush the process and not focus on how to really study the craft of either comedy or sketch writing or music. Yeah. Being a real like artist, you know? Not necessarily like a real MC, like they got to spit bars, but really learning their point of view and what they want to say and how to express that. Yeah. I think it's a little bit more... I guess here in society, we just expect you to do one thing. And then you come doing this, it's not good. It's like, yeah, you should have stuck to the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's difficult to like, for us to accept that another role. Right. It's difficult because from one perspective, you want people to just look at it in a vacuum. Like, okay, but did you like the song? You know what I mean? Like that's like from one perspective, but from another perspective, you have to look at things in the context of who you are as a person, because that's how they hit even harder. So yeah, it's a delicate balance. I think the people that have the most success, they just go, they don't even care. It's just like, I'm just gonna do it.
And I feel like that's how you gotta do it. Like if I want to do comedy and I want to do music, I'm gonna do it. I can infuse the two of, but still make sure that it's two separate entities and they still represent each side of the brand that I want to showcase.
Absolutely, yeah. Some people merge it pretty well too. Like, they don't even gotta. Yeah, it's all doable. Anything's doable. Like it's unlimited. Especially you see that with the internet. It's unlimited. You can do anything you want. It's just, are you doing it as well as you can? That's for most people where the caveat is. Or are you like, are you doing it to the truest you can do it, like to who you are? Yeah. True. Yeah.
That way.
All right, Tatum had to leave.
Salutations, bro.
One-on-one, mano y mano, Seth Hirsch, Rebel Bear in the steel cage. All right, Seth. Opal Demo was well received. I feel like you reached a lot of people, being on all streaming services. How was the feeling of finally releasing that full body of work?
Yeah, that was dope. First, I want to give you a shout out for coming through on that, really being supportive of it.
Thank you.
I didn't really know how it was gonna go because I've been developing so much as an artist in the past couple of years. It's been like a rapid progress of understanding like what kind of music I want to make and what I want to talk about. So Opal Demo was really me. Like I had the opportunity to work with a few producers who also work with people like Kid Cudi and MGK and 50 Cent, like tons of other artists. I kind of just was reaching out to as many people as I could. So I just tried to make like as fire songs as I could, just kind of each song was in a vacuum. And then when I put them all together, it was kind of like there are all these different colors and textures. And it was almost like an opal, like the birthstone of October, which is like iridescent. When you move in the light, it's different colors. So it was good to get it out, man. And I was surprised that I have literally, this is going to sound crazy, but I literally have never heard anyone say it's not good. Like people, people give me advice, like whatever on this or that, but like everyone I talk to is like, yeah, this is fire. So it felt really good. And when I do shows and when people know the lyrics and sing them back to me, that's like, I didn't anticipate it, but at the same time, it's like, well, I kind of, this stuff was going to happen eventually. So like, cool. I'm glad it's right now,
Dope. I mean, we've known each other for a long time. I remember you used to be a dope ass skater.
Oh yeah.
And then just kind of switched it up and was like, I'm rapping now.
Yeah.
And you're fucking killing it. You can kind of, whatever you put your mind to, you seem to do well.
Appreciate it.
Can you like talk to that, or like how you maintain to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's true that the only way that you could ever fail is when you give up. And it's the most cliche thing you can say because it's true and it's persisted throughout human history. You can do anything you want to do. It's always a degree of how bad do you want to do it. Like when I moved to New York, I didn't know anybody. I was so broke. I was like in poverty for like almost 4 years straight, like really broke. But I pushed through because I knew that the only way this is not going to work is if I prevent myself from making it work. Every time I run into a situation, I need to look at myself and see what I need to fix about myself. I only need to fix myself. The world around me is going to do what it's going to do. And yeah, bro, just persistence, honestly. Persistence. And I fire people. If someone's like trying to crack my code, like, you can't do that. Fired. Thank you for working at this fine establishment that is my life. But pack up your stuff, Sharon, and leave. Like,
goodbye.
Bye. Like you gotta be tolerant of everyone you meet, but at a certain point, you gotta really be for it.
Take control.
Yeah, you gotta take control. Yeah,
that's dope. So you're moving from New York. What was one of your favorite memories of New York?
Oh my gosh, dude, New York is an incredible place. Probably one of the dopest things that I ever did there was I met like the whole hip hop scene there, the underground hip hop scene. They have this event called Freestyle Mondays, where it's basically like all the MCs kind of go and people freestyle battle each other. There's a game show wheel and they spin it and there's like topics. Maybe it'll be like, I actually saw this battle as like Sharknado versus Tornado. And they have to be one of those. And there's a live band playing classic hip hop beats and they're like,
that's crazy.
And yeah, man, it's wild. And I just became such close friends with all the people like that were going through that circuit, and they just taught me so much about stage presence and being an MC and like freestyling. So yeah, just that whole, anytime I ever went to a Freestyle Mondays event or like a Supreme Bars event or end of the week, they're always like crazy. But that was dope. So going forward, because I guess now, as of today, I told everyone I'm leaving New York. Wow. Yeah, I got some plans to go out to LA. I got some things out there. Right now, I'm in Cincinnati, kind of like networking and getting cool with everybody back here, kind of reconnecting with my musical roots and with my cultural roots here. But yeah, bro, I think LA is the move next, and it's going to be good because dang snow flurries out here, I'm talking about.
Getting cold in here.
Getting cold, getting a little nippy out here.
You say you've been back here in Cincinnati for a little bit, and you've been around seeing a bunch of people, different shows. How does it feel to come back from somewhere like New York where it's kind of expected that, the music scene's popping, come back and kind of see the resurgence of Cincinnati?
Yeah, it's definitely like, there's a feeling I can't really. There's a type of music and art that is a product of somewhere where there's not much to do. That's very hard to describe. Like Ohio in general, I feel like all the music that comes out here is very genre bending. Like from Bone Thugs to 21 Pilots to Kid Cudi.
Right.
Ohio players like.
The whole funk, yeah.
Yeah, like everyone even all the people like that you have on your show and that like are just in the city. They're always different qualities of different kinds of music because there's nothing really else to do around here except dig deep and like dig for it. But in New York and maybe other like Tel Aviv is kind of like this, and other places is like there's so much to do that there's all these little subcultures, so it's kind of easy to get fixated on one thing. But it's dope, man. I love Cincinnati. I'm very proud Ohioan, I'm proud Cincinnatian. I love the Southwest. We're right next to Kentucky, Indiana. There's these really untapped kind of vibe coming out of here that just a lot of people are not even used to. Like they never even heard it. Like the kind of accents people have, the kind of sounds people like around here. And I think it's really dope. I'm very impressed every show I go to. I'm like,
all right. One last question. Yeah. As far as 2018, do you have any other projects coming out, like musically or writing or anything along those lines?
Yeah, in terms of music, I got a couple collabs with people in Cincinnati I've been working on, trying to dial in, kind of hone in, and work with a lot of people. So
Say any names or?
Yeah, I can. I drop a few names. Me and Sadlibs got something.
Oh.
Got a nice little joint. So I did something with Geo, really dope artist from here. The other night I recorded a collab with Kelby Savage, who's a really dope MC. I went to his show, saw him at a show last night, and Stolitics is the producer of that song. He's really dope out here, putting on some really sick hip hop events. Shout out to Off the Block Mondays at the Mock B. But as far as other music, man, yeah, when I get out to LA, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to a few producers I had my eye on for a while that I think I'll have the opportunity to work with. Probably push some singles and definitely further the comedy and acting career. There's definitely some things in the work for that, yeah.
Dope. Well, you want to give the social plug?
Yeah.
Your social medias?
I'd love to give the extension cord to wrap it around. Seth Hirsch Music on everything that I'm on. If it's not there, I'm not there. I'm gone. Seth Hirsch Music, SethHirsch Music. Yep.
Dope. Well, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me,
pleasure.
bro. Shout out Alcohol and Donuts, bro. Donuts and alcohol.
Alcohol or donuts and alcohol. Either way it goes, it works. Flip the script.
Straight.
Flip the script with Seth Hirsch.